Welcome back to Stadium Center. If you are just tuning in, we went over the announcement and format of the First Paldea League. Please go watch that video if you have not done so already. Moving on to our main topic, which teams are the best positioned in each conference, starting with the Scarlet Conference. We have a Sun team, a Rain team, a Trick Room team, and an all-around good stuff team. Wiz, starting with you, who do you like in Scarlet?
The Kanto Suns have to be the team to beat. They are terrifying. They're fast. They hit hard. And I do not want to take a hit from that Charizard in Sun.
Moving on, Thorax, who do you got?
I have to agree. I think the Kanto Suns are the team to beat. The Charizard and the Dragapult are the fastest threats in the conference. The Sneasler in the Glaciato Rangers is the second fastest. However, I just think the Kanto Suns are a cut above everybody else. I would say second are the Blueberry Hurricanes. They can counter with their own weather setting and their own speed threats enabled by Whimsicott, but they need more setup. With the Alola Islanders, you do have a Trick Room mode, and Ursaluna and Porygon are a powerful duo. And as far as the Glaciato Rangers, Dondozo, Volcarona, Rillaboom, and Excalibur are just a great balance core that, with some smart decision making, can pull an upset. But again, Wiz hit the nail on the head. The Kanto Suns are the team to beat.
And Doko, rounding it out, are you going to say the Kanto Suns as well?
I have to say the Kanto Suns as well. Just very
How
similar
original.
Blueberry Hurricanes, obviously, they do have the rain to help counter, but none of the other teams really have a heavy hitter that hits just as hard as Charizard, unfortunately.
And don't forget that Pelipper is faster than Torkoal. Therefore, the Sun will rise always in that setup. And in Trick Room, Torkoal also will go first of pretty much any of the Pokemon, any of these teams.
Yeah, that's true. The moment Pelipper comes out, Drizzle will activate the rain, but if Torkoal is present on the field either at the same time or in the back, you can easily switch in or on the field already, overwrite the rain with the Sun on turn 0, and then Charizard and Venusaur are there to capitalize. I want to quickly go over the Excalibur balance team, the Glaciato Rangers. Is there anything there for you guys? I mean, obviously you seem to like the Blueberry Hurricanes with the rain, but I'm not hearing a lot of love for the Rangers.
Everybody loves the fast coaching, which that's always a fun strategy.
Yeah, Sneasler's the second fastest in the conference, I think. And I think with the balance core that you have with Rillaboom, Volcarona, and Dondozo, that fourth slot is open to pretty much anybody. I don't see the King Gambit doing much just because there's Incineroars and anti-steel threats all over the conference. And Excalibur, we're still waiting for it to do something. It has potential, especially with Priority Ice Shard, but I don't know if it has any good matchups.
Volcarona can stand on its own as a setup sweeper and can even support the team. And then every other Pokemon on this team can be set up with the coaching and basically go off. So it's a setup team. It needs to get rolling, but once it's rolling, once there's a Quiver Dance or a coaching, it's hard to stop.
I'm obsessed with coaching.
And you can also always try to gamble with the fissure on Dondozo too.
Love the fissure on Dozo.
Don't say that. No, I don't like the fissure on Dondozo.
30% of the time it hits every time.
All right, it looks like that the final word for the Scarlet Conference is Kanto Suns are the team to beat. If you can't beat Charizard, you are not winning against them. Moving on to the Violet Conference, we have the other end of the weather. There's a snow team, a sand team, a Trick Room team, and also just another balanced team, a more flexible team. Starting with Doko, who do you like out of the Violet Conference?
So in the Violet Conference, I think the matchups are a lot more even. There isn't any super standout Pokemon like Charizard on Kanto Suns in the Scarlet Conference. We do have the two alternate weathers in the snow and the sand. We have a very interesting sort of mind gamey team with the Snow Point City Sabers. I think they have a very high skill ceiling. So they
Wild
can-
card.
yeah, basically. Depending on how skillfully they're piloted, they can like really mind game and pull out a lot of surprising moves. I think. I do think that still weather is pretty strong though. So I think I'm partial to the Sapphire Zone Kings and Sir Chester Frost.
All right, moving on to Thorax. Who do you have in the Violet Conference?
More like the Violet Conference, just because this is a free-for-all. I think each team is capable of beating up on each other. I think it's going to be a dogfight for each match between each team. I think the Snow Point City Sabers are the team to beat just because Doko is right. They do a lot of unexpected things. The Blaziken is special. The Gallade has coaching. They have bulk.
The
They
Gallade
have
gets
redirection.
coached. Gallade,
Yes.
what the Gallade has is
You know
a
what? You get
very
your
deadly...
time. You get your time. You get your time. You wait.
Whoa,
You wait
whoa,
your
whoa,
goddamn
whoa, whoa.
turn. We'll fight. We'll fight about this later.
Oh my gosh.
But
This is like your take on JJK. This is almost as bad.
we'll save that off.
Thorax, please continue.
As far as Doko is correct. The weather is strong, and once whoever gets to the finals, the weather might be all important if they're playing against the Kanto Suns. But I actually think my bet is going to the Snow Point City Sabers. High skill ceiling, and I think they're a little more balanced. I think they do a lot of things unexpectedly. One bad click, and you could possibly land into a Zoroark, or you could get swept by the Zoroark. Chester and Safari Zone Kings are standard weather teams. I think they have a lot of good support with, Safari Zone Kings have their Indeedee, the Sneasler, Golden Go is always a threat in Talonflame. Chester Forest, the Palafin in the back can cause a lot of trouble at the end of games. And I think the Kitakami Magic is another high skill ceiling team. They do have the Trick Room mode, but they also have Beat Up Annihilate, which if it goes unchecked could absolutely sweep through teams, and they have that support with the Incineroar and Klefki.
All right, Wiz, moving on to you in the Violet Conference. Who's your
Everybody's
number one?
already done my job of glazing the Snow Point City Sabers, and I won't argue there. In some ways, though, I do prefer them as the underdog because they pull out so many unexpected tricks. But as was said, one wrong move, one low skill mistake, and they can be set back. I will also rectify, Gallade does not have coaching on it, but Gallade is the recipient of the coaching. As for the other threats, I think Kitakami Magic is always a threat. Even when it's down to just Annihilate, the monkey is never to be counted out. And plus, there's many great support mons on that team. Definitely, any sort of snow team, definitely can devastate the format. And Tyranitar, he's always climbing a ladder. We never know what to expect there on the Safari Zone Kings.
All right, so yeah, it sounds like the Violet Conference a lot more who can win XY game versus YZ game. One team may have the advantage one week, but then the next week you have sort of a rock, paper, scissors type situation here. Was it really overall Snow Point City Sabers in the Violet Conference? Is that the final decision?
Yeah, I would say, at least for myself, that Snow Point City Sabers is the team to beat. But that just being said, any one of these teams can make it to the finals. It's rock, paper, scissors, and then once you kind of get to those last matchups towards the end of games, anyone could win, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see any one of these teams end up in the finals.
It is ultimately going to come down, I think, to the pilots, the trainers who are commanding these teams.
All right, I have one more question about the Violent Conference. This comes to the most famous Pokemon in the conference, of course, which is Garchomp, who has already been traded away from 2 different teams, formerly a Kanto Suns. Then he got traded to the Safari Zone Kings, and now he is a bench warmer on the Sir Chester Frost. My question to you, just a simple yes or no: will Garchomp score more than 1 KO the entire season? Starting with you, Wiz.
I think I would never count it out in terms of getting kills. The Garchomp is a threat, but it does need to be properly supported. And I think the question at hand is, can its teammates support it to landing those KOs? Very possible, Amoonguss puts things to sleep. And, Alolan Ninetales can set up the Aurora Veil to protect it. So I would, it's not impossible.
All right, Thorax, is Garchomp going to get more than 1 knockout this season?
I think it's gonna get more than one, but I don't think it's. I think it's gonna be inconsequential to the overall match because it's so strong. It has to get one. It would be a travesty if it didn't get at least one.
It's
But
going to get the
at the end of
knockout
the
and lose
day-
the game.
Absolutely. I think he got bad feet. He got no moves committed to memory. I think we're ready to. I think after this we're gonna have to send Garchomp to the Shanghai Sharks.
Well said. And Doko, is Garchomp going to get more than 1 knockout this season?
1 knockout? I think so. More than 1? Debatable. Maybe. You know what? I'll say yes. I'll say he gets two knockouts, and then at the end of the league, he's gonna have to find another new home.
2 knockouts, tears his ACL, and then he has to spend the rest of his time in Kitakami.
Or
Two
or
knockouts
whatever,
and loses the battle.
Shanghai Sharks or whatever.
Shanghai
that
Sharks.
Thorax play.
All right, we are just about hitting time now. Of course, this season will then lead into a postseason where all 8 teams will be in a tournament in a bracket and have to face down each other. My question for you fellas, starting with Thorax, is who is going to take it all in the postseason?
I think it's Kanto Suns. I think it's gonna have maybe not a complete sweep of its own conference, but I think it's the team that's gonna come out of the conference. I think it has such great matchups across the entire tournament, and I think it's the one that's gonna take the crown. I'm putting all my money. I'm betting everything on the Kanto Suns. I'm taking out the second mortgage. I'm setting up the Klarna. Kanto Suns all the way.
All right, Wiz, who is going to be the champion of the First Paldea League?
Well, I'm going to just have to go against, almost on principle, Thorax, and say it's going to be the Snow Point Sabres. They got too many tricks up their sleeves.
And Doko, who's going to win it all?
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Kanto Suns, but I do think if they don't do it in the actual Scarlet Conference, then in the actual tournament, I think Blueberry Hurricanes might be able to at least put up a good challenge.
That's a good qualifier. If they don't win the conference, then it's unlikely for them to really perform in the wider tournament. For my money, I give it to the Safari Zone Kings. I think Sand is really powerful. I think Tyranitar has got a lot to prove, and I think they can go all the way, especially with all on the back of Goldango. I never ever bet against Goldango.
Stop the cap.
Never bet against the money.
All right. Anybody have any final words on the upcoming season? No, good.
Exciting.
Closing argument. JJK is actually a good anime.
Thank you for watching Stadium
JoJo's-
Center.
are you
The
kidding?
first
JoJo's
match
Bizarre
of
Adventures.
Oh, I
the
don't wanna hear
season
about no
will be
JoJo's.
uploaded next week. See you next time.
JoJo, are you kidding? JoJo's Bizarre Adventures
Oh,
better.
I don't want to hear about no JoJo's. you, you, you can stand JoJo's, but JJK is where you draw the line. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. They're
Then what kind of that?
the style? The style.
Aura
so much
means
better.
something
It's so
entirely
fabulous.
different to you, doesn't it? Huh?
JoJo's has my heart, man. It's peak. It's peak. They got style. They got pizzazz. They got swag.
You don't know what aura means.
No, it's ora 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 ora.
You're gonna get an aura
Ora,
sphere.
ora, ora,
Okay.
ora, 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 ora. Ora, 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 ora. Yeah. That's Star Platinum.
How did we end it last time?
No, this is the ending. This is staying in.
One more word of advice for our viewers: show up at our workplace unannounced. It's a good idea.
Doko, we gotta kill these
She's
fucking
not.
guys,
She's
dude.
not. She's not for you.
Okay.
If
He
you
just
would
wants
go-
to see you
if
put
you
in
go,
some
if
effort
you would
by
go
showing
somewhere,
up
you
at her
would bring a loaded
workplace
gun.
unannounced.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna cut this. I'm just gonna leave this entire section in.
If this gets, hey, you were recording that, right?
I haven't stopped recording. We're on minute 52.
All right, now he's gonna record everything, and we're all getting canceled.
How are we on
already-
minute 52? This is supposed to be like a 3-minute video.
I already said kill Brooklyn. All right.
Oh my god,
Remember, guys, men can be gaslit.
we're not supposed to say that.
Hold on, wait,
out
don't
loud.
don't say anything funny real quick. I need to stop the recording and make sure that it actually went through.
Oh my god.